everyone, Alexa Donne here, and I thought it might be a good idea and high time to share my query with you. So this would be the query that I sent to agents for Brightly Burning, my debut novel, which is being published on May 1st. I know a lot of you may be querying in the new year. It is that time of year. You know, you wrote your nano novel, you revised it, right? You revised it, and it's a new year and it's time to query. Or even if it wasn't a nano novel, I feel like a lot of you might be querying around this time, so I thought I'll share my successful query. So I'm just gonna read it, and so this might be a rare video of mine that is actually legitimately kind of short. So, first of all, this is the one that I sent to my agent, Elana Roth Parker, and it was personalized. I did have versions of this query that weren't personalized, but I'm gonna read you the one. And I will be changing a few things. My book originally had a different title. I'm just gonna substitute in the final title so that it's not confusing. So, Dear Miss Roth Parker, I saw on your manuscript wish list that you're looking for high concept YA and enjoy sci-fi twists. I hope you'll consider my YA science fiction retelling, Brightly Burning, which is Jane Eyre in space. The novel is a standalone and complete at 99,800 words. 17-year-old Stella Ainsley wants just one thing: to go somewhere, anywhere else. Her current home is a floundering spaceship that offers few prospects, little food, and a very good chance of dying from disease. Escape isn't easy. Every application she's made to transfer to another ship has been rejected. Finally, the private ship Rochester hires her as a governess, offering her a life of luxury and safety, but also secrets and shadows. Captain Hugo Fairfax, barely 19 and frustratingly handsome, is notorious throughout the fleet for being a recluse and a drunk. But with Stella he's kind, even a bit flirtatious. Then he brings aboard Bianca Ingram, who is everything Stella isn't. Tall, gorgeous, rich, and intended for Hugo. Stella knows how to take a hint. Then the accidents start. A damaged airlock, a fire in Hugo's room, a mysterious guest attacked in the middle of the night. The captain says everything is fine, but Stella begins her own private investigation into the mysterious ship, its captain, and supposed cargo. Because she's certain someone is trying to kill Hugo, whether he's willing to admit it or not. I graduated magna cum laude from Boston University with a degree in magazine journalism and currently work in international television marketing in Los Angeles. I am on the YA literature staff for sci-fi fantasy convention DragonCon, which last year drew over 70,000 attendees, in addition to serving as the marketing director and YA literature and writing track director for Leviosa, a Harry Potter and YA literature convention. I'm also a moderator for the subreddit YA Writers. Per your submission guidelines, please find below the first 10 pages of my manuscript. I look forward to hearing from you. Best regards, my real name. I do use a pen name. Alexa is my real first name, but I have a different last name. My email, my phone number, and my website URL. So just kind of to go over this, and I will link down below to my how to write a stellar query video where I kind of go over the main ingredients that you want to have in a query. But as you can see there, I set up my main character, her world, what she wants, what is in her way, conflict, and stakes. And if you're familiar with Jane Eyre, you see that I kind of walked the query up to kind of the inciting incident point, which is all of the weird, wacky stuff happening in the old manor house, in my case a spaceship, but I didn't reveal too much about the plot or the plot twists. You want to tease the reader, kind of lead them up to the edge of the cliff, and then go, if you want to find out the rest, you have to read. And just a note about my bio, I read it because I thought it would be, illustrative. I am an example. I had a very chock full bio. I had a lot of stuff in my bio because I had been doing a lot of YA related activities for many years. So at the time that I queried, Leviosa was coming up and I was on the DragonCon YA literature track staff. I mentioned the size of the convention just to give a sense of scale that I was, working on a pretty big event and that I had experience with the YA community and knowledge of YA. Also throwing in the subreddit moderator note. If you don't have a fancy or complicated bio, it's totally okay. You can just say, I have a degree in XYZ and I live in Y. Like, it's totally fine. Even just the first line of my bio would have been fine if I had nothing else. Just, I have a degree in this and I live here working in this. It happens that my degree and my job kind of relate to publishing, which is another reason I included that level of detail. Also, a note in there, I do use a pen name, but I signed my query with my real name, my legal name, but I had a note that said, writing as Alexa Donne. And if you're interested, I can do a whole video on pen names. I have a specific reason for why I chose to use one and ideas about, you know, kind of how to go about using them. Though I do like to reassure people, Alexa is my real name. I am a real Alexa. You know, no substitutes accepted, you know, like with the Amazon Echo. But I did change my last name for the purposes of writing YA fiction. So that was my query. I had a pretty good request rate. Gosh, trying to remember it off the top of my head. I want to say I had about a 70% request rate. It might have been a little higher. If you use querytracker.net and you input all of the queries that you sent out and then you record all of their responses, it'll tell you what your response rate was. So I had a pretty good response rate on that query. So that's my query for Brightly Burning. Let me know down below in the comments if you have any questions about the query itself. I will also provide a link down below. I'll throw this query up on my website so that you can read it in full. Yeah, let's make this the Ask Me Your Query questions video. I will either respond to you directly in the comments or make other videos, subsequent videos, once I know exactly what you guys want to know about. And don't forget, again, to check in the description for links to my relevant querying videos. So thank you so much for watching, and as always, everyone, happy writing.